Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Start Here, which is every Friday morning. This is a very special mini series that is on top of Sugar Mama's Fire Play, but part of it, which goes live every Monday morning, where I have the honor of answering your real life money questions with practical, empowering steps to help you get started or perhaps to even restart. Now, today's question comes from Vicki, who bravely has reached out to me with such honesty and courage. My heart really sank when I read this, and she wrote to me, "The marriage split has left me with credit card debts I didn't even know about. I'm still responsible for half. I'm 55 with $195,000 in super, earning a good income. I have an employee share plan, and I have 15.4% contributions. But the thing is, I still feel like I am robbing Peter to pay Paul. Everything has gone up. My long-term financial planner retired, and I don't feel supported by the new one. I'm paying all of my wage to debts, rent, and bills. I can't see a way forward. My mental health is suffering. Just want to pay out my Latitude finance at 17.5% interest so that I can start your $1,000 project, buy groceries, and actually live. I'm frugal, I use your budget planner, but I am now at the end of my tether." Okay, Vicki, first of all, thank you. Thank you for being so open, so brave, and so vulnerable. Your story is one that a lot of people can relate to right now that are going through similar situations or have gone through a similar situation. And to anyone else who's listening right now who feels stuck, feel weighted down by debt or defeated by circumstances like this episode is the perfect episode for you to be listening to right now. So let us begin. All right, step one, Vicki. I want you to acknowledge where you are. Debt can feel overwhelming, but let's take a moment to pause, to breathe, and to check in. Here you are, but you're here asking for help, which shows me that you have not given up. You're not a quitter. And that alone is really powerful. I want you to hear this clearly. Vicki, you are not broken. Vicki, you are not beyond repair. What you are experiencing is a situation. And situations are like clouds. They're always moving. They're never stagnant or stuck in the sky. Eventually, they move and the sun comes out again. All situations can change. We just need to help make that change come along a little faster. And yes, this financial situation, this credit card debt that you didn't know about until it was too late, it is unfair. It is not your fault. And yes, it is cruel. And because of that, naturally, there comes a very heavy emotional cost to you. It naturally weighs on your mental health, your confidence, and your faith and ability to see your way forward, to see light at the end of the tunnel, to keep moving and keep your head up. Which is why it is really important right now that we take this moment to check in, to breathe, to just give yourself a very much needed hug, and then to look forward to the practical steps so that we can encourage you to move through this, to grow through this, and to come out stronger, because you can and you most definitely will. So let's move on to the practical steps here, and that is to focus on the toxic debt. As you're aware, and as you are already doing, the highest priority is to pay off this Latitude loan at 17.5% interest. Because as you know, this is what we call toxic debt. And that loan is eating into your income, your options, and your lifestyle, your mental health. So you are doing the right work. Every spare dollar go towards that debt. But what I want you to do differently now is to be able to build some goals and to track your progress. And you can see the light getting brighter and getting closer and closer to the other end, coming out of this dark tunnel. Look at exactly how much you owe. Look at what automatic repayment plans you already have in place, and look at what ad hoc payments you're able to throw towards this debt. This will then allow you to see at what date you should be debt free. It will allow you to put a note in your diary so you can see that date. And every time you happen to put some extra money towards it, where you've had to say no to something else, see that date and see that date coming forward. That will help give you a sense of faith and motivation to know that the sacrifices are paying off. This will be paid off. This will be behind you sooner than you think. You just have to hang in there. It's not easy, I know. It's hard. It's draining. It's exhausting. It's defeating. But you're bigger than this. You're better than this, and you will get through. But having these goals, tracking the progress, and seeing when it will be all over will allow you to hang in there and find that little bit of strength that still exists within you, that you can find a way to build and make stronger and burn more within you to give you that motivation to go that little bit longer. The next thing is to look at some other options. Is there an opportunity for you to be able to consolidate this debt? 17.5% is a high interest rate, but are there other personal loans out there that allow you to safely consolidate this debt at a low interest? You need to proceed with caution because obviously, rolling debts can be dangerous if you're never actually paying that debt down, but pushing it further and further into the future. But if you have a really strict debt repayment plan in place and you're able to refinance this loan to a lower interest rate of around, say, 11%, and you maintain everything as is, it means less of your money is going towards the interest, but making a bigger dent and impact in paying off the actual loan, meaning that you will be debt-free sooner. And you will have that light be brighter and you'll be far closer to it. If you need to, go and get some advice. Speak to someone about what options exist out there for you. A consolidation loan or refinancing only works if you commit to paying it off. Another option right now would be also speaking to a debt counselor or a financial counselor, not a financial planner, and certainly not someone who's going to be selling products, but something that is government funded and a free service to you. So they can perhaps step in and help negotiate with those lenders to help give you some more breathing room and get that debt off your back far sooner. The next thing is obviously to protect your cash flow. It sounds like you've already done my Budget and Cash Flow Academy and that it's helping. And obviously you're doing all the right things in paying this debt off, but still promise me this. Don't forget about the importance of having an emergency buffer. The amount of emergency money you really need is a lot more than probably what you've got, but having something rather than nothing at all is better. So even if you can have a couple of $1,000s sitting in a savings account, will help make sure that you're feeling an added sense of support in your life as you work towards being debt-free from this particular loan. And of course, review your budget regularly, which I'm sure you're already doing. But even myself, I always find little things sneaking in there, something I've signed up for that I've forgotten to cancel, or something that's gone up and I don't actually want anymore and I can look to cancel. So make sure you're regularly checking your budget and cross-referencing against your cash flow. The next thing is to look at the support you're getting for your financial planner. You've mentioned in your message to me that you're not feeling supported properly by the new financial planner. Okay, you need to know this. You deserve to feel respected and valued, particularly as a paying client. Your financial planner should empower you, not judge you. And if that relationship doesn't feel right, it is perfectly acceptable to move on. In the meantime, please don't underestimate the power of community. Please don't underestimate the importance and the value you can gain from following other people who are going through a debt-free journey like yourself. They can help inspire you. They can share their struggles, their wins, and their strategies. And most importantly, help you realize that you are not alone. But in the meantime, I strongly recommend speaking to your financial planner, explaining that you are not happy. You are not happy with the level of customer service and support, and that you would like to review your services with them. Make sure you give him the opportunity to help him where you need help. Ask him, I need to pay this Latitude finance off sooner. What else can I do? What can you suggest? Ask him to be a part of this. If he isn't going to be, it is time to find yourself another financial planner. And I will link in the podcast notes a special episode that I made about a year and a half ago about how to find the one, how to find your dream financial planner. So I recommend listening to that and, of course, going and finding someone who's going to do the work properly, that is worthy of your time and, of course, your money that you invest in a financial planning services. And if you need to, look at cancelling that financial planner whilst you pay down that debt. If he's not helping you in other areas of your life and don't see the value, why should you be paying for it? Then, of course, I want you to look at the big picture here, keeping what you have as your goal, your dream. Right now, the focus is debt. And that is correct. That is what you should be doing. But this isn't forever. Once that toxic loan is gone, you will free up hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars per month. Money that can then allow you to do the things that you are excited about, such as starting the $1,000 project, starting to invest, and rebuilding your financial confidence, but also your financial well-being. Starting to earn passive income, starting to grow that passive income, starting to feel financially independent. And of course, your super. You've already got 15.4% contributions from your employer going in, which is great. Your super is growing in the background. So look at that. Show some gratitude towards that, because that is definitely a level of security and comfort for your retirement. And that's a really wonderful foundation to have that some people don't have even close to that amount or any support like that. 15.4% is amazing. It's actually the highest I've heard in a very long time. So once you've cleared the debt, you'll be able to enjoy all these benefits, and you'll be able to really nurture your super further. You'll be able to start investing, build that passive income, and of course, start building some emergency money, making sure it's more than just a couple of $1,000s. It's the right amount of emergency money to you. And you can also start adding back in your lifestyle, the weekends away, perhaps buying yourself a new dress, getting a manicure, a blow dry, a massage, all those wonderful things that you've had to sacrifice for so long. You are so close to the finish line. You just need to hang in there and keep going. You are doing the right work. You are following the right steps. You're being smart. You're being intelligent. You're being wise. You're exercising self-control. But you are exhausted. That is normal. That is natural. And the cruel thing about this is you've been put in this situation without your consent, which is so wrong and so messed up. And I'm so sorry that this has happened to you, but it doesn't need to define you. It doesn't need to keep you stuck. It doesn't need to keep you feeling hopeless. You are doing the work. You are making progress every single day. And once this is behind you, because you've looked at your diary, you've run your numbers, you've got your goals, you can see that date, know that date is closer than you think, and you will be debt-free. You can seriously celebrate with so much pride, so much self-respect, and so much excitement and empowerment as to what you can now build for yourself using all that money that you were using into paying off this debt to now redirect into building wealth, building long-term sustainable wealth. So for Vicki right now, and anyone else who's feeling trapped by debt, please know this: you are not stuck, and you certainly not stuck for long. You are definitely in a rough chapter. There is no denying it. But this is not the whole book. There are more chapters ahead of you. So continue on what you're doing, prioritizing clearing this toxic debt. Get some advice about looking at consolidating or refinancing to a lower interest rate if this is an option and if it can be managed safely. Look at getting some financial counseling as well to help you find that faith within yourself. I want you to also write down some things that you're doing already. The fact you've done a budget is brilliant. The fact that you are making repayments, the fact that you are keeping your head above water is so good. And then, of course, make sure you have that emergency money, that buffer. Do everything that you're doing, but track your progress. Update a journal, a notebook, something on your phone that shows you what your new debt is now down to so you can see the progress and it fuels your motivation to keep going. And surround yourself. Surround yourself with people who support you, encourage you, inspire you, whether they be friends, whether they be people you see on social media, or whether they be professionals like a financial planner or an accountant or a financial counselor. Debt isn't a punishment, even though I'm sure it feels like it, but you are making progress. And once you're through this, not only are you going to be debt-free, you're going to be stronger, you're going to be wiser, and you are ready to build that financial independence you've been dreaming of. So, Vicki, thank you again for trusting me with this story. And to everyone else listening, if this episode resonated with you, please make sure you go and share it with someone else who may need to hear this encouragement too. And if you'd like to send your question through to me on this future episode of Start Here, please send me a DM on Instagram at SugarMamaTV or at Canna Campbell Official. I'll see you next time on Sugar Mama's Fireplay. Ciao for now.